This is a game changer for some. AncestryDNA has come out with this long requested tool, the Enhanced Shared Matches tool. This allows you not only to see your DNA matches, but the ability to see how your DNA matches relate to each other. Now, AncestryDNA, while the largest consumer-based DNA company, they are the last to provide this feature. This can be very helpful when trying to assemble a family tree from DNA matches. Now, this video will cover both an overview of the AncestryDNA cousin matches and then dive into the new Enhanced Pro tool to help you take this one step further with your AncestryDNA research. Now, there is a handout for this episode. The handout description information, that's for the Patreon members, the channel members, and the Academy members, or you can purchase it on the Genealogy TV website at genealogytv.org/handouts. So the cost for the Pro Tools varies, right? This is an add-on to your existing account for Pro Tools. It ranges about $10 in the United States, but prices vary depending on your location. Now, this is in addition to your regular Ancestry subscription. Please don't shoot the messenger. I don't work for Ancestry, nor do they sponsor any of my videos. However, they do provide me with access to these tools so that I can share them with you. So regarding the Pro Tool features, in December of 2023, Ancestry rolled out these new Pro Tools, except the Enhanced Shared Matches feature. We'll get to that in a minute. There is an expanded view of the fan tree, which I am thrilled to have. I love the fan chart. I'm so glad they added it. There is the tree checker, which helps you find errors in your tree. There is smart filters, which is basically a list of all people in your tree. There is the charts and reports. There is the tree mapper and tree insights. So in June of 2024, Ancestry added this Pro Tools Enhanced Shared Matches tool. Pro Tools is also available, by the way, in the US, UK, Australia, and Canada. So before we get into the Enhanced Shared Matches tool, let's talk about some DNA basics for those who are new to AncestryDNA. Often we call them cousin matches, but that could also mean biological parents, children, aunts, uncles, as well as your biological cousins, okay? So assuming that you have a DNA test and linked it to your family tree, then you have several opportunities to use DNA cousin matches to assist you with your genealogy, even without Pro Tools. So in short, you will get a list of all your DNA cousin matches. There's a unit of measurement called the centimorgan, if you're not familiar with it. And the larger the centimorgan, the closer related you are to those matches. Now, clicking on the centimorgan count will give you an estimated relationship that you have with each match. Personally, I prefer to use DNA Painter and their shared centimorgan match tool to better understand the relationships. This is not a replacement for the AncestryDNA tools, but another way to see your relationships. You can get a visualization of the possible relationships you have with any DNA match. This is a different company, but at DNA Painter, you can see how the centimorgans you share overlap with other relationships. For example, if you have, say, 250 centimorgans with a match, you may have several possible relationships. So what's new at AncestryDNA? As of June 2024, Ancestry added this Enhanced DNA Match feature. This is the shared matches to their Pro Tools subscription. In short, this allows you to see how your DNA matches relate to each other, whereas without the Enhanced DNA Match tool, you can only see how you relate to your DNA matches. With Pro Tools, now you can see how they relate to each other when you're using the Shared Matches tool. Let me walk you through the process. Now, how can you get the Ancestry Pro Tools with Enhanced Shared Matches? Here's a screenshot from Ancestry's help website. In short, without Pro Tools, you can only see up to 3 shared matches, which really doesn't help you at all. So how can you use the DNA matches without Pro Tools? So we want to kind of get through the basics here of understanding what that means, your DNA matches. The first step is to go to DNA matches from the DNA top menu. You should now see a list of all your DNA matches. So if you click into any of the matches by clicking on their name, you can see how you relate to them. This is best with cousins that are not immediate family, okay? This view shows you your DNA cousins mini tree as well as how you might be related. On the left side, it shows you the common ancestors if you both have them identified in your trees. The green boxes show you ancestors that you both have in your tree. So what do you do with all these matches? One of the things you can do is to search their tree for clues. To see a larger tree, click the Expand Tree in the upper right corner. Notice that Janet has a small tree. That doesn't matter because with the Shared Matches tool, we can explore all the trees from all the DNA matches we both share in common from that same branch of the tree. This is where the power of the Shared Matches tool comes in. Once you have opened the Expand Tree, you can then go to the full tree by clicking on the Full View link. I usually do this by right-clicking and opening in a new tab so that I don't lose my place in the DNA match list. By opening the DNA match tree completely, you can now search their tree for ancestors that you were researching, if they have them in their tree. Just be sure that you pay attention to looking in the upper left corner to make sure that it's somebody else's tree that you're searching and not your own, because it can get confusing, especially if the trees look similar. What I do is I open them in two different tabs, and then you can pop back and forth and compare the trees. So let's talk about grouping your DNA matches. If you know which branch of the tree this DNA cousin comes from, you can then mark them with a custom group that you create. So let's move on to step 2, and that is the shared matches. Now, this is the Pro tool. This is where the new stuff comes in. I have clicked into one of my cousins from the match list. We're going to call her Janet for the sake of privacy, so you can see that she is estimated to be my first cousin once removed. This is also known as 1C, 1R. In this case, I know the estimate is correct. She is one time removed, means once removed is a generational difference. So she is one generation older than I am. She is my father's first cousin. Therefore, I am a first cousin once removed from Janet. All right, let's talk about shared matches and kind of explain that a little bit. Clicking into the Shared Matches tool provides a list of DNA matches that we both share. This is a list of DNA cousins that genetically relate to the same branch of the family tree. This is where it gets really powerful. So Janet and I both descend from Herman and Frances Madsen. Therefore, all of the DNA cousins in that shared matches list either descend from that couple or from a common ancestral couple higher in the tree. This is where knowing your best known match from any one branch of the family tree can be helpful. What is the best known match? This is the person that you know comes from that branch of the tree with the highest centimorgan count. Now, Janet here is my best known match from the Madsen-Jensen couple. I could then search Janet's tree for clues, records, or even communicate with the DNA cousin to learn more about that branch of the family tree. Also, I would want to add her to a Madsen-Jensen group along with everyone in that shared matches list because they all come from that side of the tree. The big upgrade that everybody was asking for is how those DNA cousins relate to each other. So not only are we getting how I relate to the shared match, in this case, Janet. But now I can see how Janet relates to everyone else. In this example, Martha has a genetic connection to both me and Janet. She is a second cousin once removed, or a half first cousin twice removed to me. Now, Ancestry is not sure whether the relationship to me, because the centimorgans I share with Martha is 168 centimorgans, which overlaps with several possible relationships. In fact, there are more possible relationships than Ancestry is showing me. If we look at DNA Painter's website and plug in 168, you can see all possible relationships and the percentages of likelihood for each of those relationships. This is why I like DNA Painter. Plus, it's free. Clicking on the centimorgans in the Ancestry match list will give you similar details about all possible relationships. So how does Martha relate to Janet? As you can see in the right-hand column, she is a niece to Janet. She has a much closer relationship than I do. That means that Martha is the daughter of one of Janet's brothers. Well, that is easy because Janet only has 2 brothers, so I could figure that out probably pretty quickly. I could drill into her tree and see how she relates. In this case, she does not have a tree. Perhaps I will reach out to Martha or Janet and ask about the relationship, if it really matters to my research goal. Remember, everything we do in genealogy starts with a question. This is how we can build out our family tree. How would you feel if you could resolve some of those brick walls in your family tree? Or maybe you're just getting started in genealogy. What if you had the skills to prove your family history, taking you back generation by generation, time and time again? Hi, my name is Connie Knox, and here at the Genealogy TV Academy, I help genealogy enthusiasts like you break down brick walls by learning smart research methods. I help you find the records and I help you get organized so that you can share your family history with your family and future generations. I do this through a monthly membership course. There are two components to this. Now, there is the self-guided platform where you can take the courses on your own time. And well, I'm adding one new lesson per month. And then the live Zoom meetings where you can watch a live presentation in the virtual classroom and participate in the discussion after the presentation. Now, if you can't make one of the live sessions, don't worry. All the programs are recorded and are added in the course platform following the presentation. So, are you ready to learn some new skills to help prove your family history, get organized, and break down some of those brick walls? All right, well, if you want to learn more, hit the Get Start button to learn a little bit more about pricing and how you can get signed up. All right, we'll see you in the virtual classroom. If you want to learn more about family history, here's a video I bet you have not seen.